let's have an update on YEE. So YEE is dumping quite a bit, not too much. It's currently down 60% from the all-time high, which is not out of the ordinary for a meme coin at all. And it's currently testing the previous all-time high over here, although that is just a wick. Okay, so the candle bodies of the previous all-time high are actually down here somewhere around 10 mil. So I think there is a chance it could come a bit lower. I don't know, this could be the bottom here. It could just hang out around this wick and build a floor here before moving higher. But it is currently in dump mode. Okay, so unless the whales are going to step in and start buying up the chart right now, then it's probably going to continue to dump until people decide they don't want to sell anymore, right? So this could potentially be a good place for a floor to build, or it could dump a little bit lower, right? How low could it go? I don't know, but it most likely won't get back down to the bottom down here, because back down here it was only on a DEX, and since then it's been listed on a bunch of T3 exchanges. Okay, so that's basically what's caused this pump, right? It's like a bunch of exchange listers has listed it. So yeah, before the pump it was just on Uniswap, and it might have been on one of these exchanges here that are really not well known at all. Maybe, I can't remember, but it was basically just on a DEX, right? And since then it's been listed on MEXC, BingX, LBank, XT, CoinX as well, MEXC, where's CoinX? Yeah, CoinX as well, and some other ones, right? Some other random ones. So we've had a bunch of exchange listings. So that's what this pump is all about. So that's the first wave of exchanges, right? That's the T3 exchanges that have listed for this pump here, okay? So my thesis still stands, right? My thesis stands is that it's going to get the good exchanges soon. So it's had its first wave of the T3 or T2 maybe exchanges, sort of. Basically the less reputable exchanges, it's got those, right? It's got a nice handful of them. And now it's having a cool off, it's going to consolidate somewhere, and then soon enough it will get the good exchanges. That's my thesis, and I'm sticking to it. But I don't know when that's going to happen. We could see a deeper correction before that happens, right? Because if a catalyst comes out of nowhere, then this could just start pumping again, okay? But if no catalyst comes out for a while, then we could just slowly bleed, okay? Which could be good for DCA, carefully. You know, to carefully DCA is probably a good idea. I don't really like to go too heavy until I see a floor holding, okay? Then I might think about being a little bit more aggressive. I don't really like to do aggressive buys during catching a falling knife, basically. I don't really like to do that. Unless it's on a really fast moving tiny market cap coin, then maybe you can do it, because you're kind of getting out a lot faster. But if you're going in heavy, you're doing it with a bit more size, you're going in with a heavier investment, then I wouldn't do that because it's too risky. So yeah, I still think this one can run to hundreds of millions, or maybe even billions if we get a nice bull run going on. And the T1 listings usually do list around this range, right? So it's currently at 14.2 million, okay? Maybe just look at some other coins real quick. So this one, Nero, was listed on Binance at 15 million market cap. It was consolidating, it wicked down beneath 15 million a few times, but it was basically holding 15 million, and then it got listed on Binance, okay? And then it went directly to the moon, right? Another example of this is Troll. Troll was holding above 10 million market cap, and then around about 15 million it got I can't remember what exchange this was, but I'm pretty sure it started getting a good exchange listing here, and that's why it pumped a lot. Okay, so again at the 10 to 15 million range is when it skyrocketed, got a T1 listing. Manu is another good example that was holding around the 15 million mark here, and then it got HTX listing and it skyrocketed to 70 million, so not crazy. But this was during, obviously, not the best market conditions that we're in right now, right? Whereas some of these other ones I just showed were in slightly better market conditions. And also this was an HTX listing, and it wasn't a Binance or a Coinbase listing. It wasn't a top tier one exchange listing. HTX is a good one, but it's not as good as obviously Binance and Coinbase or some others. But yeah, still it was consolidating about 15 mil before it got a T1 listing. Or maybe you want to go HTX to tier 2. I'm not really sure whereabouts I'd put that. Maybe in the middle, tier 1.5 maybe. And Manu was getting shilled by HTX before it got listed on HTX Global. So here they're still doing it, obviously, even though it's been listed now, they're still doing it. But they were doing it with Manu before it got listed as well, and then it got listed. And they're doing this with YEE as well. YEE's being shilled by HTX. This doesn't guarantee a listing, but it is a good indicator, right? But yeah, HTX Global, this is the main HTX website, and they're showing YEE. They were doing this with Manu, and then they listed Manu, and Manu pumped. So good chance we could get HTX listing soon for the dinosaur YEE. I think during bullish market conditions, it can get some bigger exchange listings as well, because the bigger exchange listings like Coinbase and Binance or whatever, Crypto.com, they're not going to list coins as much during low volume market conditions, right? Because these exchanges make money from trading fees. So the amount of people that are in the market trading directly affects how much they make. So if they list one of these coins during low market volume, they're going to make way less on fees. Whereas if they list these coins during high market conditions, and then everybody's piling into these coins, like if it's high volume market conditions, everybody's piling in, then if they list at these times when everybody's piling into the market, and then everybody piles in to their exchange, let's say Coinbase just lists YEE during high market conditions, and everybody goes onto Coinbase and starts piling into YEE, then, you know, obviously they're going to make a lot more trading fees. So from a business perspective, it makes a lot more sense for them to list meme coins when the market's hot. Okay, so for that reason, the big exchange listings for YEE probably, in my opinion, won't come until the market heats up. This could happen soon, but I also think there's a chance that this might not happen soon, and there could be more downside for the market in general, and obviously for YEE as well, considering YEE's in the market. I don't know this for sure. You know, obviously I'm hoping the market pumps and we go to the moon soon, but I've just seen something in the Bitcoin chart that I'm not really liking. Well, I mean, I've noticed this before, and I've been looking at it for months, right? But it's looking really uncanny now, if that's the right word. Basically, you look at the peak here, our current peak, okay? So we had a pump here, we had a first top, we came down, and we kind of consolidated here, and then we had another push up slightly higher, but not really higher, right? It's kind of a double top. It's a double top, but with a little bit of extra on top, right? And then we came back down, and now we're kind of consolidating again, and then we're kind of having a little bit of an unconfident rally, right? We're kind of trying to push up, but there's not much confidence there, right? It's there's no backbone behind the buy pressure here. Now we come over here, it looks kind of the same, right? The market pumped up, it pumped down, same as over here, right? We've got the first pump, it pumped down, it kind of consolidated a bit down here, okay? Did the same here, consolidated here. We've got another run up, slightly higher than the first pump, but you know, it's just like basically a double top with just like slightly higher, same as this one. That's what it did here. And then it sold off, okay, which it did here. And then it got a little unconfident rally here, like a little relief rally, but there's no backbone behind it, same as we got here. Okay, so looking at that, just logically thinking about that, if it did this pattern before, like this is playing out pretty similarly. It's not guaranteed, but there is definitely a risk here that we could see this, right? And we could go down. I'm definitely very wary of that now. I'm watching that a little bit more and more every day. It probably won't be as bad as here because the market's more evolved since then, and there was a lot of scammy things going on here, like the FTX collapse and Celsius going wrong and all this other stuff, right? Even though there was a lot of stuff going on up here with meme coin scams and everything, but it wasn't the same as it was back here, right? It's gotten a lot better than then. There's still scammy things that go on, but it's starting to get better, right? It's starting to mature. And obviously Bitcoin's got ETFs and all that stuff now, right? So it might not be as big of a dump as this was. This was obviously a really big dump, but I definitely think it's possible we could see some downside because, yeah, the chart just looks very similar, and you can see a lot just by looking at the chart, right? You don't need to do too much research sometimes. Sometimes just by looking at the chart, you can see the buy patterns and the sell patterns, and just by you can just kind of read it in the chart a little bit. But yeah, again, it doesn't mean there's going to be a dump. It's just something to watch, just because this pattern's playing out very similar, and these patterns often do repeat themselves. Although it's not guaranteed. If we get a big catalyst, then we can go higher. But I'm trying to stack up a little bit of capital on the side, and then just kind of leaving it on the side, and I'm not going to deploy it unless we kind of go down, or until, you know, we start looking like we're definitely going to go up. So yeah, if we do get a correction in the market, then obviously YEE is going to go down with the market as well as everything else, and I'll definitely be deploying more into YEE if that happens, because when the market recovers from that point, then I think YEE's going to get T1 listings after that, although it could happen now, and I've still got a big bag of YEE anyway, so if it happens now, then I'm set. But if the market goes to shit for a little while, has a little bit of a pullback, then I'll be loading up on more YEE. So YEE is my main hold. I called this on my Twitter page at 1.4 million market cap, and obviously it went on to do a 21x to the all-time high so far. Also hit a few good pumps on some other plays. So I posted this in my group, Cree, which is one of YEE's friends at 50k market cap, and they went on to do a 7x to the all-time high. This one, Burglar, that I called in my group, did a 3x to the all-time high. And this one I caught a pump on the other day, went on to do a 3x from when I called it into my group, or a 6x from average price, but 3x from when I called it into my group. So if you saw this here, you could have rode the pump 3x. So this one I was buying around here, and then it pumped up to there whilst I was asleep, so I wasn't able to sell. I did have limit orders set up here, so kind of annoying they didn't hit my limit orders. But yeah, so it pumped, and then it sold off whilst I was asleep. And then, so yeah, I round tripped this, but I called it down here in the group, so you could have got in if you wanted to. And one of the members in the group has had a couple of wins as well. So he called this one at 500 or 600k market cap in the group. I think he bought it earlier than that, but in the group he called it this market cap roughly. And this went up to 2 mil, so that's like a 4x. And he also called this one as well, AIA. So this one went on to do a nice gain. He caught this right at the bottom. Yeah, so this one had like a 3x pump or 3 or 4x pump as well. So that's what we're doing in my group here, is we're looking for the best opportunities to obviously take advantage of in this market, and to obviously help each other out and all that stuff. Any good coins that come up in here that I think that I like, I'll stick on these watch lists down here, and so you can see these. Obviously there'll probably be other opportunities in the chat as well, but the ones that I think are worth watching I'll put in the watch lists, in my watch lists. So if you want to join the group, you can join right now for $1 a month, and if you join for $1 a month, you'll be locked in at $1 a month for as long as you want. Okay, obviously the price will be going up as more people join. I'm probably not going to let too many people in now at $1 a month, because there's already 8 people in here. Obviously I can't have too many people in at $1 a month, so I'll put the price up a little bit soon. So yeah, if you want to check this out, check the link in the description, and yeah, you can join for $1 a month and you'll be locked in at $1 a month. Oh yeah, and also there's my beginner DeFi trader course as well that you get as part of this. So if you join and you're a member of this group, you get the beginner DeFi trader course. So basically if you're a beginner, you can join and then you can learn crypto, and then you can be in the group that I'm building as well. So yeah, again, links down in the description for that if you're interested in joining. Apart from that, please like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching.